Alright guys, so today's video, we're going to kind of take a different path on this list video. Now over the last week, I've done a lot of my top 5 videos. I still have a lot that I need to get to, but I always get asked what earbuds have I not liked and which ones do I not recommend or do I not prefer. So I figured let's just do a list of my 5 worst true wireless earbuds. Now the criteria with these is it really has to be from a well-known company. Now I get earbuds from all kind of companies. Most of the no-name ones, there's some that are just really bad and they're not worth mentioning. So these are going to be the ones that you see in stores, the ones that you hear about. This isn't going to be like one that you've never heard of in the first place. And also a lot of what I base things are off of value. So if I look at a product and it's super expensive, I kind of expect it to perform in that price range. And I do normally compare it to other earbuds in that price range. And a lot of what I base things off of are sound. So that's kind of how I gauge this list. Now I know by doing a list like this, I'm going to offend some people because some people are just so hell-bent on defending their brand, which I get, I understand, but none of this is meant to like attack a certain brand. I don't have like a hate towards a certain brand or a certain company. Just in general, I think all of these big name companies have made mistakes, and I think pricing is a little bit high on some of these, and so I wanted to point these out. And so these are my 5 worst earbuds. Now, number 5 on the list isn't technically one that I've covered on the channel. It is the Google Pixel Buds. Now, you might initially think it's the Pixel Buds in the white pebble-looking case that you open up and the earbuds that you've seen. But originally, Google released Pixel Buds that had a string attached to it. Now, it's still considered wireless because that's how they labeled it in their presentation. And the wire doesn't hold battery or controls or anything like that. It was just to kind of keep it around your neck. And also it had a loop that kind of helped keep these fitting in your ears. But this pair came out at $159. And I think this was to directly compete with Apple's AirPods. But these were bad. Now the case was kind of cool. It had a fabric look to it. But that neckband cable, which was meant to kind of help these fit a little bit better, it always kind of self-adjusted on its own. It just kind of moved, and so you never really had a good fit in your ear. And the reason that was important is this pair was an open ear design. It didn't use silicone ear tips, and so it was always really hard to get it just sitting right in your ear canal to get the best sound out of these. So for the most part, they just did not sound good at all. It just felt like a half-baked product that Google was pushing out just to have a pair of true wireless earbuds in the market when true wireless earbuds were starting to take off. And it was just a huge flop. Google just released Pixel Buds later with the exact same name and just never mentioned the other ones. In fact, I couldn't even find an ad for the original Pixel Bud. So it just didn't seem like it was a product they were very proud of. Now, number 4 on the list is the Skullcandy Push Ultra. This is Skullcandy's attempt at having an active pair of earbuds for people that are running, people that are working out and going to the gym. Priced at $100 and not having silicone ear tips, there was so many things that I just did not like about this pair. Now, I do also want to mention that I think Skullcandy has really not knocked it out of the park anyway when it comes to true wireless earbuds, but the Push Ultra came with a very large zippered case. It was not pocketable. I mean, again, if you're going to take this to the gym, you would throw it in a gym bag. I understand that. But some people are going to want to use these portably, and I didn't feel like they were very portable. Now, they do have the ear hook to help keep them in place, but with this pair, it just was not comfortable, and the ear hook did not keep these in place in a way where you can actually get good sound out of these. Again, this was an open ear design, and it kind of always pushed itself back, and the audio wasn't channeling right into my ear canal. So I never got good sound out of these unless I was just holding them. But you're not going to be in the gym or running or anything and just holding your earbuds like this the whole time. So Skullcandy not soon after released a version of these with the silicone ear tips. So I think they were almost like acknowledging that that wasn't the way to go because they stopped making the ones without the ear tips and replaced it with the ones that had ear tips. And at $100, it just really didn't have anything to offer. It was not comfortable, it didn't sound good, and it just did not seem ready. Now, number 3 on the list, now I know a lot of people are going to argue with this one, is the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds. Now, this is the original ones. Now, this one came in at $279, which immediately made it like the most expensive earbud out of like the consumer market, like the Sony, the Apple products, and Bose. Like I said, it was just the most expensive. And yes, the noise canceling on this product is great, which is its main intention. But There were some software issues like within the app that just didn't work right out of the gate. There was no EQ controls over the sound, so you were just stuck with it the way that it was. The case and the earbuds themselves were comically large. I mean, they're huge. They still sell these, so you can see them in stores. The earbud is big. The case itself was big. It really wasn't portable. I mean, the earbuds just stuck out of your ear, kind of like the bolts out of Frankenstein's neck. I mean, it was just, again, it was comically large, and it just, at initial release, didn't feel like it was ready. Now, throughout time and throughout firmware updates, they fixed some of the app issues. They fixed some of those things here and there, but to come out as a product that didn't seem ready and coming out as being the most expensive earbud that you could just walk into a store and find, this one just did not warrant the price. Now, number 2 on the list, now this is the one that's obviously going to get the most people upset, is the Apple AirPods. And mainly I'm talking about the first gen, but this really kind of applies to the first, second, and the newest one, which is the third gen. I don't think that these warrant the price tag, especially when the original ones came out at $159. The case on them was not a wireless charging case. They later did release a version where you could buy it with the wireless charging case. But at $159 and having this open ear design, the sound just isn't there. And if you're buying an audio product at $160, especially in a market where there are some very impressive earbuds in this price range, I've always felt like the AirPods were overpriced. If you were in Apple's ecosystem, obviously it works great to switch between one device and another. I feel like the AirPod Pros are just miles ahead better than the regular AirPods. And the AirPods don't have noise canceling, but they're priced like a pair that does have noise canceling. They don't have that standout sound, and the battery life on them are pretty weak compared to other ones in this price range, because you're only going to squeeze about 5 to 5.5 hours out of a pair of AirPods. And again, I know it's probably the most marketed of all earbuds, and most people are using iPhones, so it just kind of works with their device, and some people are just buying it because of its ease of use, and just because it's what everybody has. And I'm not saying it's an awful product, but I definitely do not think that the AirPods have ever really lived up to their price tag. And a lot of times I just felt like the AirPods sounded muddy. It just lacked a lot of detail that I like in my earbuds. It just wasn't for me, and that's why I put the AirPods just as a whole in at number 2. Now, number 1 on the list. Now, Sony usually always makes my top list. They're always like number 1 in a lot of different categories. And a lot of you probably didn't expect Sony to be at the number 1 of my worst earbuds list. But the Sony Link buds, I definitely consider a huge flop. I think coming in at $179 is completely crazy, considering from a true audio standpoint, the Link buds really have nothing to offer. Now, it is unique because it has that like donut hole design, which is made to allow you to be able to hear your surroundings, but also listen to your music. But obviously this pair does not have noise canceling, but I feel like it's priced to have noise canceling. And because of that hole, your audio is definitely lacking compared to other products in this same price range. I mean, Sony even released the Link Buds S, which closed them up, actually added some features that the XM4s had onto that pair, and only made it $20 more. And so it kind of made this a no-brainer that you would go with the Link Buds S. Now, I do understand it's for people that need to hear their surroundings, but I don't think $179 was the right price to open these out at. I think they should have been under $100. I consider these to definitely be a flop in Sony's lineup, which I usually consider to be the best out there. So that's why I put the Link Buds in at number 1. But guys, that kind of wraps up my video on a lot of the earbuds that I consider the worst, especially again from these bigger name companies. These were flops in my opinion. These were ones that I just did not think match the price tag. But if you get a chance, let me know in the comment section some earbuds that you consider flops or ones that you didn't think lived up to the name or the price tag. But thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.